Assalamu alaikum, family. You're tuned into the Sajdah channel, and I am your host, Sajdah Wendy Muhammad, and I'm so excited to be here with you this morning. So, we're going to talk about a topic that is probably oversaturated in the motivation market in the pop culture world, but we're just going to straight up talk about gratitude. Straight up gratitude. All right. So don't go anywhere. Be a friend, tell a friend, and we'll be right back in a few short minutes.
O Allah, guide me among those whom Thou hast guided aright, and preserve me among those whom Thou hast preserved, and befriend me among those whom Thou hast befriended. Bless me in whatsoever Thou dost grant me, and deliver me from the evil of what Thou hast judged. Surely Thou judgest, and none can judge against Thee, and he whom Thou befriendest is not disgraced. Blessed art Thou, O Lord, and exalted be Thee above what they set up besides Thee. I bear witness, nothing deserves to be served besides Thee, and I bear witness that Muhammad is Thy servant and apostle. Amen.
I have received so many pleasures, so many very good to look at, whether you own them or not. It's a pleasure just to look at such presents. Why, I have never witnessed so many presents. I think I have to build me a house for presents. This shows what Allah can do for you and me if we believe in Him.
There is nothing that we could not accomplish in the name of God. You know what your problem is? You don't have even a worthy goal to strive after. I'm going to give you an assignment today. Here's an assignment. Is there something you want? Do you want something? Something that you want, but you have not been able to get it? Huh? Close your eyes. Do you see it? Whatever it is that you want, first envision it. You got the picture. Do you see it? All right, now the question is, you have to claim what you see. I claim this. I claim it. I believe with all my heart in the name of God that I'll bring what is in my imagination into reality. We're going to bring it back like it never was. I see in the dome the name Allah written in Arabic. But I can't just dream. I got to go to work. How do you bring it into concrete reality? First, without faith, you can't work the vision.
Assalamu alaikum, family. Welcome to the Sajdah channel. I am your host, Sajdah Wendy Muhammad, and we got some beautiful sunlight coming in today that we're going to just enjoy. Normally, I would jump up and close the blinds, but we're just going to deal with it. I hope everyone's doing well. I wanted to take a moment this morning. I want to talk about a couple things. I want to talk about networking. I want to talk about perseverance. And I want to talk about gratitude. Okay, so we have an event coming up this coming Thursday, 6 to 8 p.m. At the Elijah Muhammad House. And it's all about networking. And I think there are these forms of business like networking and elevator pitches that oftentimes fly over our head because we don't understand and don't realize oftentimes the importance. I don't want to generalize, but sometimes we don't understand the importance. You know, sometimes going out to an event and knowing how to have your quick 60-second elevator pitch so when you introduce yourself to somebody can make the difference in your life. Do you know how many times I've gone to a networking event and met someone that led me to exactly what I was wanting or exactly what I was dreaming? It's been countless times. And so I'm working to focus us on networking within our community a little bit more. And so I just want to share a few quotes. I posted, I think, on Thursday, but I want to share a few quotes about networking. And I want to say the difference is I'm not talking about schmoozing where you're going somewhere, because there's some people who go to events and they're like, oh, it's going to be all kind of people there. I'm going to go see what I can get. Not going in with that attitude, but going in with your intention about your business and then giving the energy of giving. I always go with the energy of giving. Let me see where I can go network and be of service. And usually 9 times out of 10, some level of service comes back to me that is greater even than what I gave. So the first quote is this one. It says, in a world where relationships often determine success, business networking is not just a strategy, it's a sacred path to legacy, empowerment, and generational wealth. Networking is really a sacred path. And you got to get Dr. George Fraser's book on networking if you really don't understand it. He's got a few of them. But go to Dr. Fraser's website, Google him, and get his information on networking, because I think it's something that's very important. That's a lost art for many of us, because again, we go into a situation going, let me go see if I can find somebody that can give me a check or find somebody that can buy something. That becomes our idea of networking. And networking is not that. Networking is coming together and getting with somebody and seeing how you can be of service to someone else. And if everybody in that room has that mindset, then we will all come away with something. And like I said, I learned that from so many powerful, professional Black people, primarily Black men, who met me in a setting and wanted to be of service, came there to be of service to somebody. I just happened to be the lucky person. I've gotten projects that way. I've gotten jobs that way. I've gotten introductions that way. I've gotten opportunities that way. I've gotten awards that way. It's one of those gifts that, if we do it right, can be really valuable. And so that's what I'm trying to work on. That's what I am working on, us, and encouraging us to do. And we can utilize the Elijah Muhammad House as a space where we can come together in a sacred space to perform this sacred activity of networking and figuring out how we can extend the life of the dollar in our community. Okay, here's another one. Today, we reclaim our sacred economic roots by building intentional networks that uplift, collaborate, and circulate our dollars within our communities. Okay, I'm going to say that again. Today, and that's going to be my mantra for Thursday, is that today we reclaim our sacred economic roots by building intentional networks. You got to be intentional about the circle that you build for yourself. I want you building intentional networks that are uplifting. Together, you all are introducing much needed goods and services into the community. You are able to pour into each other because it's safe. You're able to collaborate. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that we should pool our resources. 6 or 8 of us should go into business, right? With one another. And then circulate our dollars within our community. Building that sacred space. How many of you are sitting on talent? How many of y'all are out there about to go to your grave with all this talent up inside of you and you're just letting it sit? It's because you're not necessarily networking for the sake of networking. Networking is not going out to see how much attention I can get. It's not going out to see who I can get to buy this product. It's going out to say, okay, let me go and be of service. Okay, let me give you all another quote on networking that I think is also very powerful. Networking is where vision meets alignment and where purpose finds partnership. Where purpose finds partnership. One of the things that the broader community does to us in our community is that it stereotypes, pigeonholes us, and packages us. And then in turn, we do it to each other. But you'd be surprised at who out there can support your business. You'd be surprised at who can introduce you to somebody. You'd be surprised is, that little old lady or that person who you wrote off and you thought, oh, they just old, or they look like they broke, or they look like they poor. You'd be surprised that person can introduce you to somebody, a daughter, a son, a coworker, a business person. You just never know. So we got to get out of that mindset of stereotyping and packaging each other as well. And networking is the soil where ideas are planted and dreams are nourished. It's time to root ourselves in relationships that empower. Relationships that empower. We talk about networking. You can't talk about networking without talking about Dr. George Fraser, Mr. Power Networking himself. He said something to me about 2-3 weeks ago, and I've been quoting it ever since. He said, if you can't build together, don't chill together. And we start talking about creating these sacred, uplifting networks. If you can't build with a person, you shouldn't be chilling with them. That's how serious going to the next level should be for us, where we're surrounding ourselves with builders and developers, going to events where we know there's going to be other builders and developers there. Here's another thing about network. It says, because when we network with purpose, the intention I talked about, we do more than grow business. We heal legacies. We build futures, and we rise together. Rise together. Part of the concept of building unity is networking, because you can't unite if you don't know each other. You can't unite if you're not supporting one another. We like to talk all this stuff, but a lot of us are really like these folk that just sit in church on Sunday or sit in some organization, listen to the speaker, and then we just go. We leave. No, we got to be about doing the work. We have to be about doing our Father's work. And uniting takes work. And the Honorable Elijah Muhammad told us that the duty of the Black man and woman is to do for self and think for self. And so this is putting us on the road to that. Okay. So sign up, go to ElijahMuhammadHouse.com. Sign up, RSVP. We were going to do it outside, but it is way too hot. We're not going to be outside. We'll be inside in that sacred space. And I'm going to tell you something about that place. That house is powerful when you start talking about bringing together energy and pulling up, stuff out from up inside of you that's there. Ooh, that house is so sacred for that. Those of you who have been there know what I'm talking about. And then I want to talk about perseverance and consistency. I've been getting these themes lately with a lot of entrepreneurs, and you guys are calling me, where you're talking about shifting gears and how you put a business idea out there and nobody's biting on it, or you don't really feel like you're getting the traction and momentum that you need. Look, unless you are with a major company, unless you're Beyonce or Denzel Washington or something, the chances of you having thousands and millions of real followers, not people who pick up on a viral moment that you post, but the chances of that are going to be slim. And even if you get to that point, and I'm not trying to squash any dreams, even if you get to that point, you got to start somewhere. So you got to start here today where you are. And where are you today? You might be at 50 followers, 100 followers, 1,000, I don't know. But The idea is to persevere and to be consistent. I learned this very, very early on in my career. Persistency, consistency, and it's all about who I am when nobody is looking. Who I am when nobody is looking. That's very important to me. Because I understand when it's lights, camera, action, when everybody's looking, everybody's watching, it's easy for us to be benevolent. It's easy for us to be nice. It's easy for us to go, no, I don't eat that or I don't do that. But I'm talking about what about when nobody's looking? When you're in the quiet of your home, the quiet of your time with yourself, what are you doing? What conversations are you saying with yourself? What is it that you do that nobody knows about? That is the true essence of who you are. And it's that stuff right there that we have to work on. And so my idea of being consistent and persistent plays out in my career. It plays out in my relationships with people. It plays out in just this podcast in and of itself. Do you know, if I turn this podcast on this morning and nobody got on here, I would still talk about what was on my heart, and I would still quote it and still post it. So consistency and persistency. So we talked earlier about those quotes about networking, and networking being a sacred activity, an activity that we utilize so that we get to know one another. Because again, you never know what treasure is sitting up inside of your brother or sister while you're judging them. You see? So one of the things that I learned to be consistent about is learning to be a consistent and persistent networker. And so when I go to events, I never go to say, let me see who I can meet. I never go to say, let me see how many clients I can get. I always go and say, how can I be of service? Let me see if I can meet some people that I can serve. And it is inevitable that every time I do that, somebody comes up to me and works or wants to be of service to me. And it ends up being a life-changing meeting or introduction or something like that. And it may have come from somebody who's unassuming. Somebody that don't, look like what you think they should look like. Like, what's somebody that's successful look like? You probably got a vision in your head. You'd be surprised. That little person sitting over there that you thought was nothing might say to you, you know what? My son has a venture capital company and he owns it. And he's looking for people to give money to. You just never know. So I've learned to be consistent and persistent with that. As soon as I leave an event, I have my cards and I send out, hey, nice to meet you. You just never, ever know. I was at an event 2 weeks ago, met a lady, she gave me her card. I just came home like I traditionally do, send out my nice to meet you notes, my thank you notes. I'm really big and persistent on my follow-up. And she hit me back and she said, we're looking for a speaker at an event and we have a stipend. So just from that follow-up, had I not followed up, she may not have even, because I followed up, I have an elevator pitch in my follow-up. Because sometimes you meet people and you just see each other, you're attracted to each other, but you don't really know why. So when I go back and I do my follow-ups after my networking, I'll say, I'm a business developer, real estate developer, award-winning historical preservationist, something, have a little paragraph. This is a little bit more about me. I may put a link to a video or I may attach a bio. And I said, I hope that maybe we can find synergies in our talents, our gifts, our skills one day. And the lady popped right back and said, hey, let me send you over to this person or that person. So you'd be surprised I was just at a Juneteenth event and met about 3 or 4 people. I followed up with all the business cards, and I met like 3 or 4 people who came back to me and said, hey, I want to help you. I want to introduce you to somebody. But I went there with the intention of being of service. Who can I be of service to? And if nothing else, if I can be of service to people in the crowd, I knew the person who was organizing the event. And in my mind, I said, I'm going to go and support them. And so I'm very consistent with that in my career. Any of you all that's on here that know me, you know that about me. I am going to see what I can do to go and support somebody. And when I tell you that has been the key to my success for many, many, many years. Never going to see what I can pitch, never going to see what I needed. When I've been in situations when I needed something so badly, I shifted my mindset from trying to subtract and pull to giving. And it's almost like it's a pipeline. So instead of pulling and trying to get something to flow through the pipeline, I start pushing and giving and pushing something out. And next thing you know, things just open up. It's really miraculous the way it works. So when I tell you all to give, even if you feel like I don't got that much to give, if it's money, give $1, $10, $5. $1 million may not be that much to you, but give something and you will start to see that your pipeline begins to open. So when I go to these events, I go to see how I can be of service. And if it's an environment where I can't necessarily be of service to individuals, then I got my cards, I'm getting their cards and their information, and I'm sharing, and I'm finding a way to support somebody else's efforts and endeavors. You know, when I'm looking for support and I'm looking for somebody to give to me, I just keep pouring into other people. And not in a negotiating way. I'm not going, okay, I'm going to give $10 to this person because you know I need 1,000. No. Sincerely and honestly seeing how I can support and help someone has been a consistent and persistent success trait of mine for many, many, many years. And if I meet you somewhere, I'll follow up with you. You tell me about it. I'm going to see what I can do and see who I can introduce you to. I love hooking people up, which leads me to something else. I have these different exercises that I do with myself, just because we're in a life and an environment and a world where our self-worth is always under attack. Sometimes I may not feel good about the way I look, and I just look in the mirror and I look at the things about myself that I admire, and I thank God for it. And it helps me to make sure that I'm not putting myself in a competitive space where I'm comparing myself to somebody else, because this is the energy that the spirit that we're walking in every single day in this internet world that we live in. It's always comparing ourselves. And so another thing that I do is I will take a look at my personality, and I'll say, what are some of the things about myself that I really like? And it's kind of a reverse psychology thing, because we're always talking about the things we don't like. I need to work out more. I need to do more of this. I should be doing that. I need to get up. I need to pray more. I need to meditate more. I need to, whatever. But instead, take a little inventory of yourself and say, what are the things that I love and like about myself? And some of you may say, well, ain't nothing I like about myself. Well, what's cool? What do you think about you is cool? And spend some time there digging into that thing about yourself, or those things about yourself and about your personality. And so when I did that exercise this week, consistency, persistency, and giving came up. So if I was somebody else, what would I like about me? And it'll help you not be so quick to look for those things in other people. You may not like your hair, but you might like your skin. You may not like your eyes, but you might like your nose. I'm being silly, but I want us to get that concept of loving ourselves and going into ourselves and say, what is it about me that I love about me? And I promise you, when you start doing these kind of things, giving when you're in need, loving yourself when maybe you don't feel so lovable, you start to open up channels that you were blocking with your self-hate. See, when you're overcome and overpowered by debt and you're burdened by obligations, then oftentimes you block the very thing that you're asking God to bless you with. So when you just relax that focus a little bit and focus on what is it that you love, what's going right. Some people, I made this list with a sister the other day who was a coaching client, and she said, you know what? She said, when I got on this call, I felt like my life wasn't good. She said, and we've gone through this exercise, and she said, and I realized that 90% of my life is the life I dreamed of. It's just this 10% that I'm working so hard to change. And so I said, well, let's focus on the 90% and watch the 10% start to correct itself. And I don't mean that in a spooky type of way. I mean that in a way where all of a sudden we find a solution. We find the answer. We've been looking for something and it's right under our nose. So do that with yourself. What are some of the things about yourself that you like about yourself? 9 times out of 10, you know those conversations that we have with ourselves where we're fussing about other people? Well, they don't do this and they make me sick and I can't take it. I don't like all that stuff that we do. Then ask yourself, what do I like about myself? Just stop. Stop yourself from fussing about other people and say, and I don't want you going, what about myself? I need to fix. We do that a lot. I think we do that enough. Not that. I want you to look at what about yourself you love and you like. Is it that you're a giving person? Is that you're a fun person? Is it that you like to smile and laugh? Is it that, what is it about yourself that you like about yourself? And if you were you and you saw you would be attracted to about yourself. I guarantee you when you start doing these types of exercises, you start to release some resistance. And remember how fast thought travels and how fast the mind travels. All you need is a few seconds of relief. You know, I remember when, as a new Muslim convert, and we were taught that the scientists write the history before it ever happened. I'm paraphrasing. And we were like, wow, that's so deep. Ooh. We talk about it and we go in and like, man, we walking into the history that they wrote. And I remember one day thinking about that. I think I was out on a walk or something. And I said, you know what? I just had an aha moment, because that's what we're talking about. Being it is. Who do you need to be in order to have what you want? That's writing the history in advance and then walking into it, creating the conditions. So when we're talking about being grateful and having gratitude, when we're talking about focusing on who we are and what we love about ourselves, we're actually writing history and becoming something. What you focus on expands, and what you focus on is what you become. We're working on becoming that thing, that concept, that person, and then we walk right into it. We walk right into the blessings that thing produces. So where we're sitting right now today, our current condition is based on something or a mindset that we had yesterday or in the past. that we are now walking into. So if we want to change the future, we have to change our mind right now. See, that's why when we go through trauma and we have issues and things that happen to us, life just lifed us and threw us into something, and we was unconscious, which happens. And so we went so deep down that rabbit hole. Now we're creating we're walking into the byproduct of that mind or that mindset. So if we want to change tomorrow, we have to change this today. And then we keep walking, keep putting one foot in front of the other, and we're going to walk into the condition that we already set up yesterday. Okay? I want to show us a quick video on gratitude. You all have probably seen it before, but it's very simple. And I want us to, though, take this concept that he's sharing, but I want us to turn it in on ourselves. A lot of us say, I'm grateful for mercy. I'm grateful for this. And that's good. Whatever you're grateful for is good. But I want you to take today. It don't have to be a big exercise unless you got time to make it an exercise. You can make a list. But I want you to walk through your day and think about and have at the top of mind all the things about yourself that you like about yourself. And in that moment that you discover it, I want you to say, thank you, Allah. Thank you, God. Thank you, Jesus. However you show your gratitude. Alhamdulillah. All praise is due to Allah. But I want in that moment for you to say, Alhamdulillah. I like that about myself. I don't want you being grateful for stuff out here. Because some of us do that so much and we hear it so much that the juice or the charge on it is not strong enough to change us. Well, I'm grateful for my home. I'm grateful for that purse. I'm grateful for this ring. I'm grateful for these braids. I'm grateful for my cousin. I'm grateful for my mama. I'm grateful for my children. It has become so popular, pop culture-ish, that the charge on it that is needed in order to change our lives is dulled. But we can use gratitude and bring back that charge by being grateful for the things that we love about ourselves. You may be saying, I'm a giver. See, before, let me show you how to flip it around. What I said, flip it around. Before we were saying, man, I can't stand, I ain't giving to nobody else. Every time I give to somebody, they take something from me. They don't say thank you. I'm always giving, always doing something. I ain't got time for this. That's when they. But I want you to stop for a minute and say, you know what? I love the fact that I'm a giver. I love the fact that I enjoy giving. I just love the way it makes me feel. And so, Allah, I'm thankful for you making me like that. I love hooking people up. Y'all hear me say that all the time. I love helping people solve problems. Thank you, Allah, for making me that person. Thank you for giving me the gift to love helping somebody. Thank you for giving me the gift to love supporting someone. So flip it around. And I want you to go into yourself and talk to yourself about the things you love about yourself. So take these gratitude instructions in this video, and I want you to turn it inward, because I guarantee you, if you do it and you point it outward, you're going to lose the emotional charge. What I mean by the emotional charge of it is that words, thoughts, they all have energy. They have energy that is dictated by the way they sound, by the way they come out of your mouth, by epigenetics, by your experiences around it. All of this is an emotional or an energetic, metaphysical charge. But when something becomes so common, it loses sometimes its charge. In this case, I think that's what's happened with gratitude. Everybody's got the gratitude journals and they say, I've been writing down 10 things that I'm grateful for. But because it's something you do all the time and it's so common, it loses its energy. It loses its transformative process or its transformative power. But take it a little differently. These are the things I love about myself. I love my heart. I love how when I love something, I lock in and you can't get me up off of it if you try. I love the fact that to this day, in 2025, I am just as much in love with the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad as I was in 1990 when I discovered them. It gives me a feeling of love and euphoria that I'm so addicted to that I don't even like going around people that's going to mess it up. What do you love about yourself? So I think y'all got the picture. Give me some questions in the chat. We're going to have a few minutes after we play this, and I'll be right back to close us out and answer those questions. And questions about networking, about perseverance, about consistency, and this concept of gratitude where we're bringing it inward. I want you looking at your body, at your face, and saying, I love this about myself. All right, I promise now I'm really going to the video. I promise. Here we go.
Say thank you for grace. Thank you for mercy. Thank you for understanding. Thank you for wisdom. Thank you for parents. Thank you for love. Thank you for kindness. Thank you for humility. Thank you for peace. Thank you for prosperity. Say thank you in advance for what's already yours. It's how I live my life. That's why I am. One of the reasons why I am today. Say thank you in advance for what is already yours.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for this day. Thank you for every moment that led to this day. Thank you for the hard times. They made me appreciate the good times. Thank you for the lessons. They were needed for my development. Thank you for my eyes. I get to witness the miracles of today and tomorrow. Thank you for everything I take for granted. Thank you for all of my blessings. Thank you for my drive. Thank you for my spirit. Thank you for my strength. Thank you for giving me the courage to fight through the hard times. Thank you for the people in my life, those I love and those I learn from. Thank you for it all. Thank you. Thank you. It's the key that opens the door to instant happiness, unlocks the door to everything we are really seeking in life, happiness and contentment. Think about it. No matter what you say you want, money, riches, health, to help others, why do you really want it? When you drill deep down, the only reason anyone wants anything is the feeling we believe we will get from having it. That all boils down to happiness and contentment. And the truth is, we can have it now if we are grateful. And if you get quiet, get away from the noise of the world, and think for a moment about what you could be grateful for, I'm sure you could find plenty. Be grateful there's food on the table, air in your lungs, life in your body. Get grateful that you have opportunity to take your life to a whole nother level, to decide right now that you are going to live your dreams and never settle until you do. Get grateful for the mental strength you've been given to survive the hard times. Get grateful for your limbs if you have them. Many are not so blessed. Your eyesight if you have it. Many are not so blessed. Your hearing if you have it. Many are not so blessed. The health you do have, many are in worse positions. Get grateful for that one person that has had an impact in your life, or many people if you are so blessed. Then get grateful you can choose to be that person for someone else. That one that makes a difference in someone else's life, no matter how small. Get grateful you get to experience this magical universe. Today, look for miracles. I guarantee if you are looking, you will see them. There are unlimited things to be grateful for. Open your eyes. Unlock your amazing life. It's ready for you right now.
Thank you for this day, whatever it brings, whether a challenge I need to grow, a lineup to teach me patience, an unexpected blessing, every moment of joy, whatever today brings, thank you. Whatever it brings, I pray I have enough presence in each moment to know that no circumstance is my life. No high or low, no event, no thing is my life. Life is energy, and I know I'm so much more than my physical body. Thank you for my ability to love, to give to others my authentic love and kindness without expecting anything in return. Thank you for my strength. Thank you for my presence. Thank you for my ability to attract only the things and people that are in harmony with what I need in my life. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for this day, whatever it brings.
Is that making sense? Y'all got that? Thank you. Thank you, thank you, and thank you. And I want us to just take today and do this exercise. I don't even want you to make it a big deal because I don't want you to lose the transformative opportunity. I just want you, as you're going throughout your day, to be very present about who you are and just think about what you love about yourself. If you say, I do want to thank Allah for my eyesight, why? Is it based on ego that you want your eyesight, or is it so that you can see the beauty of Allah that is everywhere? Allah, thank you for my voice. Why? So I can just talk and ramble? No, so that I can spread what you've downloaded in me. I can spread your word. I can spread knowledge. I can spread my experiences. But I want you to go into yourself. What do I like about myself? If you feel like you're smart, I want you to say, you know what? I like the fact that I'm so damn smart. I am super smart. I can think, I can figure stuff out. If you say, I like the fact that I graduated from college. I'm so grateful I graduated from college. Thank you. If you say, you know what? I like where I live. I like this place. Then say that. If you say, you know what, Allah, I like the fact that I love to walk. Thank you for that. I hope you get what I'm saying. I want you to focus on yourself today. If you get in your car and say, you know what, I like the fact that I like driving. What do I like about myself? I like that. Could be anything. Look in the mirror and say, you know, I really love my skin color. I'm feeling this skin popping. I want you turning that inward to yourself. All right. So again, don't forget Thursday, 6 p.m. Central Time, Elijah Muhammad House networking. We talked at the beginning of Coffee Talk today about how networking is a sacred activity that aligns us with like-minded people that we can be of service to, and through which we can extract from the universe that which we desire. And the thing to remember about networking is that, especially in today's world and when you're dealing with Black people, you never know who's who. You could be sitting next to somebody and they look very unassuming and you don't know what they do. You don't know who they know. You don't know who they know that knows you. You don't know that they may invite you to something and you may meet somebody else. You just never know, because if you trust in Allah, Here's the spiritual side of networking. If you trust in Allah that the things that you are putting out into your prayers and in the universe and your meditation, the things that you say you want, your desires, if you have faith that those desires are going to be fulfilled, 9 times out of 10, when you get out there and networking, I guarantee you that 100% of what you want is going to come through another person. You can't sit up and want something. I need a grant, or I want this, or I want to live a certain lifestyle, and all of a sudden think that you're just going to open your door tomorrow and have that on your doorstep. Is God going to come and give it to you and hand it to you? Or is he going to place it and deposit it in himself that is present on this earth? Is he going to deposit it in what we determine is somebody else? And then is that person going to be holding the key to what it is that you want? And really all you had to do was just network and you would have got it. All you had to do was just open your mouth, send out an email, send out a text, give the greetings to somebody. Hey, let me tell you about what I got going on. Have a conversation with somebody, because I guarantee the prayers that you have, you and your rugged individual self in the house by yourself, with all your prayers and all the things you say you want, all the multi-million-dollar status and all the houses and homes and money and good friendships and all walks of life that you want, while you're, and that you thinking about and you telling the world you want while you sitting up in your house by yourself, is only going to come to you through somebody else. That's how sacred and important networking is. That unity that we say we need, it ain't happening unless we get out here and get to know each other. Circulating that dollar more, reason why that dollar don't circulate that long, not because we don't got no money, not because we don't have money, not because even because we don't spend money with one another, but we don't network. We don't network. All of us have dreams and desires and goals. And if we networked with one another more often, we will find that those dreams and those goals are sitting up inside of somebody else, waiting for us to extract it, waiting for us to experience it, waiting for us to interact with it. But it doesn't happen, because when we come around each other, we stunting, we fronting, we being competitive. We're not really paying attention. We're not getting business cards. We're not seeing how we could be of service. See, when you serve somebody, you open them up. You open up the treasure. But we don't see it because we come into a setting, and it's not that we're not around a lot of people, but the rugged individualism that exists in our mind makes us very ego-driven when we go into the group. We go to a party, we go to an event, we're very ego-driven. What do I look like? Who am I? Do you see me? Everybody looks at me. Everybody, everybody's paying attention. Everybody loves the way I do this or that. That's why you can't see the group as a space that you're in that can answer your prayers. Here's the oxymoron. We go to our room, and we pray. Before we go to bed, we asking Allah, oh, give me this, I need this, and oh my God, would you please grant me this, and this is happening, and I need blah, 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 blah. And then he puts us in a group or in a setting. We find ourselves at an event. And instead of being at the event with the possibility that this could very well be an answer to a prayer, we go to the event like, look at me, check me out. Look how I'm flowing. Look how I get down. You just said a prayer, and the answer to your prayer could very well be right there in that group. But because you didn't know how to go there and open up and unlock what it was that you needed, you missed it. You missed it. And it's happened to all of us. And you say, well, but how do I know? I don't want to just go up to people and start begging. I don't want to just go up to people and start asking. Go up to people and be of service. Not can I be a lapdog? But speak to people. How are you? My name is Sajdah Wendy Muhammad, and I am blah, 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 blah. How are you? Who are you? Or whatever. You got to find a way that works for you. We were passing out some flyers for the Taste of Black Chicago. And I have this thing where in casual environments, Black people always wear T-shirts that have a saying on it. And so I would repeat the saying on their T-shirt. I say, here you go, blessed. How you doing? And they automatically smile because they know they put that shirt on in the morning. They know I'm talking to them. And in that process of giving, that person may not very well have anything I need. But what I'm doing is I'm practicing that vibration. The next thing you know, somebody walks over to me and said, hey, I want to introduce you to Senator so-and-so. And Senator so-and-so is interested in what you're doing with the Elijah Muhammad House. Just like, boop. But these kind of things, this stuff happens. All right. So I'm going to get out of here, family. I want you all to remember that as we're going out here in the summer, there's a lot of demand for our attention. And we got to remember to stay focused on Allah. I done forgot y'all comments. I'm so sorry. I'm just running my mouth this morning. What we got here? We got Brother Lamont in the house. Brother Lamont says, good morning and assalamu alaikum, family. Good morning and wa alaikum salam to you. Sister Monica, the mighty Sister Monica. She says, assalamu alaikum and great Saturday, family. Wa alaikum salam and great Saturday to you. Sister Betty says truth, but Sister Betty was up here bearing witness all throughout the show today. So peace and blessings, Sister Betty. Sister Aletha's in the house. Wa alaikum salam, family. Happy Saturday to you too, sis. Who else we got in here? 704 Joe. He tells us, he said, peace from Allah's 5% nation of gods and earth. Peace to you, dear brother. Peace to the Black God. Gratefulness all day. That's what Sister Monica said. Let's see. I see CDM. He says, ASA, thank you for those words. I can leave home with $40 and return empty-handed, but feel great. My wife would ask, do you need some cash? She would say, don't give it away. I can't help it. Yeah. You recognize the power of that flow. You recognize the power of the flow. I had a brother come up to me at the Senator Preston's Juneteenth event, and he looked a little rough around the edges. We would have probably judged him. He says, sister, I want to make a donation to the museum. I said, oh, okay. So I had some cards in my hand that had the QR code, and I was going to give it to him. He just handed me $100 bill. No, he said, here you go. Didn't know me from a can of paint. But these things happen. So Brother CDM said sometimes he just gives it away. Why not be a blessing to somebody else? Why not give somebody something that they didn't expect? Why not? Why not send somebody flowers that wasn't expecting flowers? Why not buy somebody a meal that wasn't expecting you to buy them a meal? Why not pick them up a gift they wasn't expecting you to pick them up a gift? Why not? Why not? That was the way. When our beloved, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, was with us on this earth before his departure, is his benevolence was so evident in his presence. And after his departure, I just want to say to us that benevolence has not stopped. Because if we understand that he lives, then those things that we are asking for that are in alignment with the assignments he gave us, he's going to make sure it happens. I just want to drop that seed on y'all. He's going to make sure it happens. So I say this to everybody who doesn't understand when we say he lives, and they say, well, I don't believe he's physically alive, but I do believe he was a great man. I'm just going to say this to you. Just try it. Just try it. Just try for a minute thinking, okay, he lives. He's alive. Just try it. And watch and see how within these instructions that we've been given to do for self, he shows up. I'm just saying, just try it. All right, family. Yes, because he lives. Please go out, support the completion of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad House Museum. Thank you to those of you all who are sponsors. We are working and laying out the plaques and all of that stuff, and getting the rooms together. I think you're going to be really satisfied with how we display the recognition of what many of you all have contributed and done for us. We're very, very grateful. Continue to need support. We are working to kick up this last final little tiny leg of construction. Need your continued support to do it. Somebody called themselves bussing on me, and they said, yeah, I remember years ago when the minister said he wanted the house to get done. I'm trying to figure out what's taking you so long. I said, well, because I go out, I earn the money, and then I put it into the home. I said, yes, it's faster when you got the chunk of money, or if there are more donations, or if we sell all the coins, it'd be done overnight. But you can't come talk smack to me if you ain't giving. I'm just saying. Everybody want to be a boss until it's time to be a boss. Everybody want to be a boss until it's time to boss up, huh? All right, family. I'm going to get off of here. I will see you all. Let's see what we got going on today. We got a tour today at 10 a.m. Chicago Black Muslim History Tour. Such an important endeavor. Shout out to Masjid al-Taqwa, Imam Tariq and his lovely wife, Sister Aisha. We have that today at 10 a.m. We got some people coming through who want to learn about the history of Islam in Chicago. All right. And so that is going to be something I'm going to be going. He said, tell her, yeah, go pay for it. You pay for it since you want it to happen. Everything right now. And I had to be careful not to get triggered, 704 Joe, because somebody else said something to me the other day. I was talking to somebody about donations and sponsorship and just kind of doing a little elevator pitch about it. And a person that's been around walked up and said, don't let her fool you. She just got a big award from the city. I said, that didn't come with no GD money. And I had to check myself because I almost jumped on him and said, you know what? But I just said, you know what? Let me be quiet. That was a test. Like you see me over here sacrificing, and you gonna walk in my face and talk shit? Like literally, anybody who knows me, Sister Letha's in here. She knows me 24 hours a day for the past 6 years. I literally have been working on it with very little sleep. Very little. Every dime I get, leaving very little for myself to live off of. And just pouring it in, pouring it in, pouring it in, pouring it in. Figuring it out. With every, and here's another one. I'm going to say this last. I got to say this. I don't know why Allah is giving me to say this. Somebody else said, trying to be smart. Yeah, some people give all they have to something, but that's dumb because Allah don't want us to give all that we have or something like that. I said, let me say this. I said, based on your level of consciousness and where you are, Allah knew that you wouldn't put $5 or $6 million into a project like this. So he didn't give it to you. See, it's all about where you are, where you vibrate, and what time, space, reality you operate on. And the reason why I can get resources and things can come to me, and even with me still trying to come up with certain amounts of money to raise for the house, I still bring in more money than most people ever even thought of. Why? Because it's not about me. It's about who I'm going to serve, who I'm going to represent, who I'm going to uplift. So don't talk to me about hurry up and get this done, or what's taking you so long, or she got a lot of nerve because, you know, she got this award or that award. Ooh, there's so much I could say. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that, because when you learn when you can get up in the morning and give everything you got to Almighty God Allah, when you could go from having a certain lifestyle where you didn't have nothing, where you've been even in times without a place to live, and then Allah bless you. This is what happened to me. Bless you with millions. Opportunity after opportunity is flowing, it's coming, it's boom, 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 boom. Right? And then he say, now give it back to me. You go, okay. Yeah, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad gave Master Father Muhammad his last dime. Stop making excuses, because your last dime is not your last dime if you use it and give it with the right cause and you got the right energy behind it. And that ain't your last dime. And if I believe in Allah, who came in the person of Master Father Muhammad, and I pulled and opened myself up, I should say, to allow him to place multi-millions of dollars in me, you think he can't do it again? And that he won't? And that he won't continue? Come on now. Come on now. We gotta get out of this mindset that we have. Do you know that those millions are going to turn into and are turning into multi-millions? Come on, people. It's all about energy. It's all about conditions. I mean, I should do a whole show about that, because I can show enough. You know how they say in order to be a shaman, you have to have gone to the brink of something that it looked like you wasn't going to come back from. You can call me a shaman in many cases, in many ways, which is one of the reasons why when I was able to make that investment in the house, people was looking shocked, because they probably saw me the last time they saw me. They may have seen me. Some people, because I went into underground. Let's see. Peace, sister. Hope you didn't take it the wrong. No. No. You fine, dear brother. Yeah. Anyway, people want to put you in the box that they knew you in, and that's all I'm gonna say. Anyway, support the completion of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad House Museum. Get in on some of these blessings and the flow and the vortex that I'm so blessed that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad is pulling me into and has pulled me into and helped to pull me into his mind. And through more and more research, and every single day, there are things we're going to share at some point, that information we've been given access to and that we've been studying as a group. And I promise you, every time I go through it, I thought I understood him. I thought I knew the man, and I see another level of intellect, another level of love, another level of divine favor. And it's like a groove that is so palpable. And that I'm so grateful for. Allah, oh Allah, thank you for bringing and pulling me close to the Christ. Okay, family. We'll see you all next week. We'll have some guests next week. But stay close to social media. I'm gonna be posting it. Let me go before I say something that assalamu alaikum.
The Honorable Elijah Muhammad, who in my judgment is the master historian, taught us that of all our studies, history is the most attractive, and it is best qualified to reward the researcher. History is most attractive. Why should history be most attractive? Because history is the recorded time of the human family in its struggle to overcome obstacles. There is no life that is without struggle. The Holy Quran teaches us that man, meaning man and woman, is made to face difficulties. And after difficulty comes ease. But it is history that guides us through difficulty. For if you know how people who had difficulty yesterday got through, and if your difficulty is somewhat similar, then today we also can get through if we follow the guidance of history. This is why Carter G. Woodson and many of our black giants fought for black people to know our history. Because in not knowing our history, we don't have a guide. And without a guide, we are lost.